Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm so happy to have you here today.
Hey guys, I'm Bill, and it's great to be here again. If you're new to this podcast, welcome to our learning family. Every week we help you learn English naturally through real conversations.
That's right. And today's episode is all about a very useful and fun topic: how to talk about your daily activities in English.
Yes, talking about your daily routine is one of the best ways to practice speaking English every day. It helps you build confidence, use simple sentences, and think in English naturally.
Exactly. We all have our daily routines like waking up, having breakfast, going to work, studying, relaxing, and so on. By learning how to describe these activities, you can easily start conversations with friends, classmates, or even new people you meet.
And the great thing is, you can practice this topic anywhere. You can talk about your morning, afternoon, or evening activities while walking, driving, or even before going to bed.
So, in today's episode, we're going to teach you useful daily routine vocabulary, natural example sentences, and tips to sound more fluent and confident when you talk about your daily life.
That's right. And we'll also have a little practice section at the end, where you can speak along with us and describe your own routine.
Perfect. So, grab your notebook or just listen and repeat after us. Let's start with some simple and common daily activity words. All right, everyone, let's warm up with some common and useful words that you can use to talk about your daily activities.
Yeah, these are very simple verbs, but they're super important if you want to describe what you do every day. Let's start with the morning.
Great idea. So listen carefully and repeat after us if you can. The first one is wake up. I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. Your turn, Bill.
I wake up at 6:30 in the morning. Sometimes I want to sleep more, but my alarm doesn't let me. Laughs.
Laughs. Yes, I know that feeling. Next is get up. It's a little different from wake up. You wake up when your eyes open, but you get up when you leave the bed.
Right. For example, I get up and go to the bathroom to brush my teeth.
Perfect. The next one is brush my teeth. I brush my teeth every morning after I get up.
Then we have take a shower. I take a shower to feel fresh and ready for the day.
After that, we can say get dressed. I get dressed for work or for school.
And don't forget, eat breakfast. I eat breakfast with my family. I usually have eggs and toast.
Nice. Here's another one: go to work or go to school. For example, I go to work at 8:30 a.m. or I go to school at 9.
Right. And some people might say drive to work or walk to school. That's a great way to add more details to your routine.
Yes. Now let's review these quickly. Listen and repeat after us. Wake up, get up, brush my teeth, take a shower, get dressed, eat breakfast, go to work, or go to school.
Great job, everyone. You can use these verbs every single day.
Exactly. These are the building blocks of your English routine. Next, we're going to use these words in real conversations and show you how to describe your morning routine naturally. All right, now that we've learned some useful morning activity words, let's use them in a real conversation. Bill, let's talk about our own morning routines.
Sure. So I usually wake up at 6:30 a.m. The first thing I do is check my phone. I know it's a bad habit.
Laughs. Yeah, many people do that. I try not to, but sometimes I also check messages in the morning. After that, what do you do?
Then I get up and go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth and take a shower. That helps me feel fresh and ready to start the day.
Nice. I usually wake up at 7 a.m. and get up right away. I make my bed, then I wash my face and brush my teeth.
That's a great start. Do you have breakfast after that?
Yes, I eat breakfast around 7:30. I usually have oatmeal with fruit or sometimes just coffee and toast. What about you?
I love breakfast. I eat eggs and bread, and I always have a cup of coffee. After breakfast, I get dressed and go to work around 8:30.
That sounds like a busy morning. So listeners, did you notice something? We both use the simple present tense verbs like wake up, brush, eat, go. We use this tense because we're talking about our daily habits or routines.
Exactly. When you talk about what you usually do, you say things like, I wake up at 7 a.m. I go to work at 8. I have lunch at 12. We don't say I am waking up or I am going to work when we talk about daily routines.
Good point. And it's also helpful to use sequence words to make your sentences sound more natural. For example, first, I wake up, then I brush my teeth. After that, I take a shower. Finally, I eat breakfast.
Yes, those words help organize your ideas clearly. So listeners, when you talk about your own routine, try to use these connectors. First, then, after that, next, finally.
Exactly. Now, before we move on, let's give our listeners a quick example they can repeat. Bill, let's say a short morning routine slowly.
Sure. First, I wake up at 7 a.m. Then, I get up and brush my teeth. After that, I take a shower and get dressed. Finally, I eat breakfast and go to work.
Great. Now, everyone listening, try to repeat that out loud with us. Ready? Let's go one more time together.
First, I wake up at 7 a.m. Then, I get up and brush my teeth. After that, I take a shower and get dressed. Finally, I eat breakfast and go to work.
Awesome. That's a simple but natural way to describe your morning.
Perfect. Next, let's move to the afternoon and talk about what people usually do during the day at work, at school, or at home.
All right, so we've talked about the morning routine now. Let's move on to the afternoon. Bill, what do you usually do after you get to work?
Well, after I arrive at work, I usually check my emails first. Then, I attend meetings or work on my projects. I spend a lot of time writing and planning lessons for English learners.
That sounds productive. I do something similar. I usually start work around 9 a.m. and teach online classes until noon. Around 12:30, I have lunch and take a short break.
Oh yes, lunchtime is the best part of the day. I usually have lunch with my colleagues at a small cafe near my office. We talk about work, family, or sometimes sports.
That's nice. Listeners, did you hear how we use some new verbs here? Like check emails, attend meetings, work on projects, and have lunch. These are perfect for talking about your work or school day.
Exactly. And if you're a student, you might say things like, I study English in the afternoon, I do my homework after lunch, I have a class at 2 p.m. Those are all great examples of daily activities.
Yes, and you can also use time expressions to make your sentences sound more complete. For example, at 1 o'clock I have lunch. After lunch I study for 2 hours. Then I take a short nap.
That's a great tip. You can also use words like before, after, and then to connect your actions. For example, before I have lunch, I finish my emails. After lunch, I relax for 10 minutes. Then, I start working again.
Beautiful examples. Let's give our listeners a short model conversation they can learn from. I'll ask and you answer, Bill. Ready?
Sure, go ahead.
What do you usually do in the afternoon?
In the afternoon, I usually have lunch at 12:30. After that, I work on my lessons or record new podcasts. Sometimes I take a short walk outside to relax.
That sounds nice. I usually have lunch around 1 p.m., and then I prepare materials for my next class. Around 4 p.m., I check messages, reply to students, and finish my work for the day.
Perfect. Listeners, notice how we're still using the simple present tense because we're talking about things we do regularly. And we use time words like after that, then, and around 4 p.m. to make it sound natural.
Exactly. Now let's review some useful afternoon activity phrases together. Repeat after us. Have lunch, check emails, attend meetings, study English, do homework, take a break, go for a walk.
Nice job, everyone. You're doing great. Next, we're going to talk about something a little more relaxing your evening routine and what you do after a long day.
All right, everyone, we've talked about morning and afternoon activities. Now it's time to relax a little. Let's talk about what we do in the evening.
Yes, my favorite part of the day. After work, I usually drive home around 6 p.m. The first thing I do when I get home is change my clothes and have dinner with my family.
That sounds nice. I usually finish work around 5:30. Then I like to cook dinner and listen to some music while I'm cooking. It helps me relax after a busy day.
That's a great way to unwind. After dinner, I usually watch TV or check social media for a while. Sometimes I read a book or go for a short walk if the weather is nice.
Oh, that's lovely. For me, after dinner, I like to spend time with my family or call my friends. Around 9 p.m., I prepare for the next day, like checking my schedule or packing my bag for work.
Nice routine. And don't forget the last step, go to bed. I usually go to bed around 10:30 p.m. and try to sleep for about 7 hours.
Yes, and when you describe your evening routine, remember to keep using simple present tense verbs watch, read, go, sleep, because they show what you usually do.
Exactly. And to make your sentences smoother, use words like after dinner, in the evening, before bed, and at night. For example, after dinner, I watch TV. In the evening, I spend time with my family. Before bed, I read a book.
Perfect examples, Bill. Let's practice together. Listeners, repeat after us. Have dinner, watch TV, read a book, spend time with family, go to bed.
Awesome! You're doing great. Learning how to talk about your evening helps you describe your full day naturally in English.
Exactly. Now, before we finish, let's talk about something very important: common mistakes learners make when talking about daily routines and how to fix them. All right, everyone, before we move to our final practice, let's talk about some common mistakes that English learners often make when describing their daily routines.
Yes, this is super important. One of the biggest mistakes is forgetting the S at the end of verbs when you talk about he, she, or it.
Exactly. For example, we say he works every day, not he work every day, or she gets up early, not she get up early.
Right. That small S makes a big difference. It shows that you understand English grammar and speak more clearly.
Another common mistake is using the wrong tense. Remember, when you talk about your daily routine, use the simple present tense, not the present continuous. For example, I go to work at 8 a.m., not I am going to work at 8 a.m.
Good point. And pronunciation is also important. Try to pronounce the S sounds clearly in words like brushes, wakes, and goes. You can practice by saying them slowly first. Wakes, brush, ES, go, ES.
That's right. And here's one more speaking tip. Use frequency words to make your sentences more natural words like usually, always, sometimes, never.
Yes. For example, I usually wake up at 7 a.m. I sometimes watch TV before bed. I never drink coffee at night.
Beautiful examples. So remember, use the simple present tense. Add S for he, she, I, it. Use frequency words to sound natural and practice your pronunciation daily.
Perfect summary. Now, let's move on to a quick speaking practice where you can describe your own daily routine with us.
All right, it's practice time. Now we want you, our listeners, to speak with us. Don't just listen, say the sentences out loud.
Yes, speaking practice is the best way to train your brain to think in English. So, let's start with a short example. I'll say my daily routine slowly, and you can repeat after me.
Here we go.
I wake up at 7 o'clock. I brush my teeth. I take a shower. I eat breakfast. I go to work.
Now it's your turn. Repeat those sentences out loud. Pause for a few seconds. Great job. Now let's make it a little longer and more natural. Listen first, then repeat.
I wake up at 7. Then I take a shower and get dressed. After that, I eat breakfast and go to work. In the afternoon, I have lunch and study English. In the evening, I watch TV and go to bed at 10.
Wonderful. Now everyone, it's your turn again. Try to say your own daily routine. Use the words we practiced today. Wake up, get dressed, have lunch, relax, go to bed. Pause for a few seconds. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The key is to speak every day and make English part of your routine.
Exactly. Practice a little every day, and soon you'll be able to talk about your daily life naturally and confidently.
Beautiful job, everyone. Now, let's quickly review everything we learned today before we finish. All right, everyone, great job today. You learned how to talk about your daily activities in English from morning to night.
Yes, we practiced useful verbs like wake up, brush teeth, take a shower, have lunch, and go to bed. You also learned how to connect ideas using words like first, then, after that, and finally.
Exactly. Remember to use the simple present tense, practice speaking out loud, and make English part of your daily routine.
And don't forget, the more you talk about your day, the faster you'll think in English.
Thank you so much for listening to the English Learning Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, like, and share it with your friends.
And join us next time for another fun and practical English conversation. Until then, keep practicing and keep smiling.